Peace and blessings, everybody. I know it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm just sitting here chilling with Rook, and we were just sitting here like talking about the ins and outs of being an entrepreneur and connecting with like your community and how sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, like content creation is something that is a pain in the butt. While it should be something that you're excited about and you like look forward to being able to do every day, it's not. It's like a task. And I know for me, like I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy like speaking my mind and talking about the different things that I want to accomplish or different things my business is doing if it's benefiting others. But when it turns from that into being something that you have to do in order to be able to connect with people and to be able to make day-to-day things happen, it's just like, don't nobody feel like that all the time. And I was just sitting here and I was making a reel, literally just speaking my mind on that. And Rakaya was like, Mom, at the end of the day, like I heard this TikToker say, excuse me, I heard this TikToker say that people only see his stuff when it's what?
When his like art, he makes art, so they only saw. He's like, oh, you guys only see it when I'm destroying it. You don't see it when I'm first making it, and you don't pay attention to it, but you only like it when I destroyed my stuff, because that's his whole routine. And I was, yeah.
I just think it's really interesting to think about how everything unravels, like as an entrepreneur. And I've been thinking about it a lot because I'm really in a space where, I've been doing like a lot of internal work, a lot of like connecting with myself and being inward. And wow, this is the summertime, and normally like I would be out at events and I would be vending and I would be traveling. Nothing in me feel like doing that right now. Everything in me feel like being very much to myself and just like taking care of the things that I need to take care of for me. And so um I don't know. I think it's really interesting watching and talking to, like, lately I've been doing this podcast episode with some birth workers. Actually, I might as well go on and make the announcement. You Only Love Herbals and this Red Tent now has a podcast called Beyond the Baby Bump. As some of you may know, I'm a doula and birth worker, and I work with a lot of women who are birth workers. And so I was like, you know what? It's time to start showcasing the work that we do. And so we created a podcast. It's called Beyond the Baby Bump. It'll be starting to go live on the 15th of August. But it's just really funny because in the process of all of that, like I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, obviously, and I've been talking to them about their like content creation habits and what they're creating and what they're doing in their businesses and what they're not doing. And it's funny because we all kind of share that same thing. Like, you don't mind creating content when it's like needed, but then when when it's not needed, but as soon as it's something that you have to do, it takes the fun out of it. And an entrepreneur, like I think everybody glorifies it. Like being an entrepreneur, you literally have to show up and do when you don't want to do. Like that's literally the lifestyle that you chose. Wherein when you with a 9 to 5 job, you can go and you can like decide to not go into work that particular day. You can literally go and, decide not to clock in and not to produce whatever because it's somebody else's business, and you can call out. But when you work for yourself, you can't call out. You can't just like not do for yourself. You got to show up. And it's like the biggest test of showing up for self. So while I have no problem with doing it, I think for me, one of the hardest things is just being available and being there, whether you feel like it or not, and producing in those moments where I want to be inward. Something I always talk about is the 4 stages and characteristics of an entrepreneur. And for those of you who don't know, who are just like coming to the channel, I always talk about the 4 stages. Peace for whoever's coming in. I always talk about the 4 stages of being an entrepreneur. You got the starter, you have the bridge, you have the planter, and you have the waterer. The starter is the person who has all these visions and ideas, and they're like constantly being inspired, like your girl. Then you have the bridge. They're the person that like is perfect at connecting making connections and doing research and like, you know, building lists and all the stuff that it takes to do the like administrative work and running the business. And then you have the planter, and they're the person who, after you've done all of that leg work, they're going to go and do the running and the hustling, the bustling to make the connections and make sure things actually happen. So like I was talking to Rook earlier, we have this thing where I'll be like, come on, Rook, like I need a therapy session. So I'll go lay on her bed and I'm like, so therapist, and I'll look up into the ceiling and she'll be like, yes, talk to me. So I'm laying there and I'm like, you know, therapist, I have this Yoni Semen course that I created. And it's something I've done a long time ago. I launched an entire platform for women's womb health and wellness, a learning platform called the Wombniverse. But I don't feel like making not one damn video to tell nobody about it. I don't feel like making one post. I don't feel like coming on to YouTube and saying, hey, y'all, I did this. I don't feel like doing it. And she was like, so, like, do you not want to sell it? I was like, it's not that I don't want to sell it. It's not that I don't want people to know about it, but I don't feel like that. Like, I'm not in that energy. And so that planter person is that person that you would give that, like, it's that energy of, oh, I created this thing. I did all the legwork for it. I'm just now going to give this item that I have to the planter. The planter going to go make it work. And then the last person is going to be the waterer. And the waterer is going to come around and they're going to like pour into whatever that person is doing. To make sure that everybody is happy and everybody loves what they bought, and you know they love their products, and they doing like customer quality control and all those kind of customer service, all those kind of things. And so I am a starter and I am a planter. But the problem is when you're in starter, visionary, started up, I'm about to launch something mode, you are not also at the place where you want to plan it. And so if you're not in a place where you're in planting it, you create this huge masterpiece. And then after you create a whole masterpiece, if you aren't careful, it will literally sit in the corner until you go make another masterpiece. How many times do painters paint all this beautiful stuff and they never put it into a gallery? Nobody ever finds out about it because all they know is they get in this mode where they just create. Like, I don't think people really understand the cycles that entrepreneurs go through. You literally have to be, unless you have a dynamite huge ass team, you literally have to be the person who comes up with the idea, who then turns it into, do all the legwork to figure out how to connect it to the people that need to see it. Then you go out and you sell it, and then you turn around and you make sure that the people who bought it love the product, and then you create something else. Like, that's literally the cycle. And I've been an entrepreneur for so long. I'm at the place now where I'm just like, I don't want to do all of that anymore. And it's like a conversation I've been having with myself, because it's like, okay, Hadida, you can show up and you support so many other people. When it's time for you to show up and support yourself, where are you? Like, what's preventing you from like doing that last step? And maybe it's that I've been spending so much time coming up with the idea and creating it and like, you know, manifesting it and da 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 da. There's something for me. I've always been a person that like, I didn't connect with having to do something to make other people see me. And I think so another large aspect of business is trying to be the biggest and the greatest and the best at something, because you got all this competition over here. For me, I never was a person who saw competition. In all of the competitions I've ever been in, and all the speaking engagements I've ever done, all the places I've ever traveled, all the awards I've ever won, I've never been a person that like got up there at the podium and was like saying my speech and like competition with so-and-so. They might have saw me as competition, but I'm not competing with anybody except myself. So when I sat down and I really started thinking about it, I was like, hold up. There's an aspect of me that's just, I'm fulfilled knowing that I created this thing and I birthed this project. And then I sit it there and I look at it. And it literally becomes a trophy on my wall. I can't tell y'all how many things over the past year that I have not been on YouTube, I have created. In the business, like how many connections I've built, how many aspects of the company I've done, and I have not pushed any of them out to y'all at all whatsoever. And I'll just be like, so I really enjoy, and I had to realize this, the starter in me enjoys the process of birth. I am, and that's why I'm so into birth work. Speaking of birth, and I was telling y'all I just launched BTBB, the podcast. I'm working with these birth workers, right? I enjoy the idea of like connecting with people, getting an idea, letting it go through my third eye, bringing it down to my throat chakra, getting it to the heart, getting it to the solar plexus, getting it to the womb, getting it like birthing it. I enjoy that whole process, but I'm okay with after I do all of that, it just sitting there. And I realize that when I'm in that birthing energy, I'm not also in the energy where I'm getting ready to go and like create some big ass, I don't know, cycle of having to always get back to create like going out to plant. So I don't want to plant. I just want to birth right now. I just want to freaking birth. I just want to sit down, come up with a concept and birth it. And then I wish that I could snap my fingers and like the universe would come, take it, do all the planting work for me, all the watering work for me, and then come back and tell me when it was time for me to birth again. So the aspect of Yoni Love Herbals that, speaking of birthing, that I birthed recently was SheEO. And SheEO was really near and dear to my heart because it holds all of those aspects of becoming an entrepreneur that I think so many people don't get a chance to really come in contact with and get to learn. Like everybody makes entrepreneurialism some glorified like position or role that you hold in society. Oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. But like nobody really takes you through the nitty-gritty of building a business that lasts. And when I look back at when I first founded this red tent, it was 2013, y'all. Like I'm beyond that 5-year window that most people go into and stay in and can't get past when they start a business. I'm beyond that. Yoni Love Herbals has been here since 2020. I'm in my 3rd year of business. And it has not by any means been like a walk in the park, something that's just been very easy. And I wanted to birth an aspect of Yoni Love Herbals that helped entrepreneurs who are interested in building their own businesses and their own platforms, and especially those who are interested in like learning how to use Yoni steaming specifically as a way to heal, or herbal knowledge in a way to heal the womb and whatever other ailments you might be dealing with. Like I created SheEO for that person, the ideal woman who was like, you know what, I want to start a business, but I need like the whole kit and caboodle. I need to be taken from like starter position and idea and turn my idea into an actual physical concept that I can touch. And then I'm going to turn it into a product, and then I'm going to get it out there in front of the customer, and then I'm going to water my customers, and I'm going to come back and rinse, wash, and repeat. Like I created that branch for that person. And I'm so proud of all the things that Yoni Love Herbals has in it, one of which is a Yoni Steaming certification course. So like for people who were interested in becoming certified to be able to offer Yoni steams and be able to offer that service to the community. I have a huge portal in class on the Wombniverse that is there. And just in connecting with the birth workers that I've been connecting with lately, it's been putting me in touch with so many different people and energies, and just I don't know, like doing the work that I really, really love, and that's at the center and the core of everything that I do, so this really is just like one of those moments for me to come on and be live and just tap in with y'all. It's been so long since I've had a moment to just connect with my community with all but wound up like doing all of this I like ended up doing all of this work in preparation for the 90 days of healing. And I said, man, after all of this, it's a Saturday. Saturday is my day off. Let me just go connect with community. Let me just tap in. Let me just come and see if anybody drops in and comes and talks. If not, that's fine. I'll just rant at the video. And y'all can come watch it later if y'all choose to. But if you know any women who are trying to start a Yoni steaming business and who are interested in providing yoni steaming services to their community or to themselves or healing themselves, or would love primarily those sisters who really want to start a business and actually do the healing work. Because I think people glorify yoni steaming in general as something like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna get that WAP. Yeah, you can get that WAP, but it's also a way for you to heal so much like trauma and things that we are holding inside as women. And I don't think people really pay attention to that often. And so that's really my passion. Like, how can we heal through this sacred practice? Not just like get on here and on the pot and like just steam and just because like, but how can we really, really, really heal, like truly heal? That's my passion. So if you know women who are into the healing arts, pass on the information. Another really dynamic part, really quickly, just about the 90 days of healing. So I was in the kitchen cooking, and Spirit was like, it's time. It's time to start a collective challenge. And as you guys know, or maybe you know, but maybe you don't know, I recently launched Optimal by Yoni Love Herbals on the website. If you haven't gotten a chance, go check it out. But Optimal by Yoni Love Herbals is literally a place where all of the elements that I've been helping women to heal, I have created herbal healing therapy systems for the sisters, and they're 28-day cycles and regimens to help you be able to get rid of your fibroids and cysts, your endometriosis, your hey Marsha, your fibroids and cysts, your endometriosis, your horrible periods. Like, I've created this whole platform for that, right? And it's 28-day regimen. Hey Marsha, how are you? And so recently when I was in the kitchen, I was cooking and it was like, it's time to do this. It's time. And I was like, oh, what's time for what? And I just saw this vision of 90 days of intentional focus on healing the aspect of the womb that people are coming to me for help with. I think that when people think yoni steaming, they think I can sit on top of a pot, I can steam for a certain period of time, and then just chill. And then it's like, no, like, yes, but no. When you are yoni steaming, of course, yes, you get on the pot, you steam, and then after that, you chill and you relax. And yes, the healing process starts. But then how much or how many people are actually doing the mental, the emotional, the physical work? Look at Ashley. The mental, the emotional, the physical work it takes to actually heal our bodies after doing the steam. And I don't think if people really understand the correlation between the three. And so if you're not conscious of your thinking and being conscious of your emotions, and the two of them creating the issue that is in the body that then shows itself physically as a fibroid, then that means you can't reverse it to get rid of it. So the doctors can go and cut out whatever they want. They can give you a hysterectomy. They could freaking do a myomectomy. They could take out the fibroid. They could send your womb. They could do whatever they want. But ultimately, you're still going to have that thing that was a root cause of the fibroid in the first place there. And so the 90 days of healing is literally a challenge where I'm coming together and I'm connecting with the community who want to heal from the root and then outward. So I'm going to give you all the steps, and it's an opportunity for you to work with me one-on-one and in group sessions. So I'm going to give all of the steps that a person needs to be able to heal the emotional and mental blockage and baggage, and then also give you the physical aspect of the healing, dealing with like the herbal regimen and the yoni steam and the nutrients. For those of you who are dealing with fibroids and cysts, 9 times out of 10, you are vitamin D and you are vitamin A deficient. If you went and got tests right now from your doctor, they're probably going to tell you you're low on both. And the reason why both of those vitamins make a big difference is because they help to control the blood flow that a woman has during her menstrual cycle. Now, if you're a vitamin A and you are vitamin D deficient and you're bleeding a lot during your menstrual cycles, you're going to be depleting those numbers even more. And so it's really important that, like, as you're on your womb healing journey, you begin to learn about the nutrients and the vitamins and those things that are needed. And see, when I first came out, I had this vision of like, okay, I'm going to connect with the people who need the healing. They're going to be able to get the yoni steam. They're going to be able to learn how to really like take care of their womb. I'm going to do these lives. I'm going to teach them, blah, 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 blah. And yes, by some means that happens. But then most of the time, people come to the site. Okay, babe. People come to the site. They purchase the steam. They get their like product, their steam at that moment. And then after that, it's like, okay, now I'm just going to go back to my life the way that I was. Your diet, the nutrients that you're taking every day, the thoughts that you have, the emotions that you are not dealing with, the trauma that you've experienced when you was a little girl, all of that shit, excuse my French, all of that shit creates your reality inside your womb, creates the fibroids, creates the endometriosis, creates all of those things. And so if we don't really heal that part, we're not really healing anything, to be quite honest. Absolutely. I'm glad that you are doing well. I know that she told me you had the foot surgery, and I'm praying for your healing, Marsha. And you said that they took out the stitches. Yeah, child. So are you still at home like during the week, or are you back to work? So anyway, the 90 days of healing is like meant to connect with those women in my community who really, really want to get down to the root cause. But there's things that's needed inside of it. Like there are vitamins you are required to do. Like this is not for people who want to come and waste my time. I'm just being real. If you don't have intentions on really trying to heal, like getting the vitamins, like doing the physical aspects, like doing the emotional and mental and spiritual work, don't sign up for this. Please don't waste my time and don't waste yours. But for those sisters who are like tired of being tired, who tired of those long, heavy periods, who's tired of the fibroids, the cyst, the endometriosis, the chronic yeast infections, and whatever the hell else people are being diagnosed with, that I'm getting calls and texts and emails about all the time. If you're tired of that, or if you have dealt with any trauma in the past that you want to be able to heal, this is your opportunity to do it. And like, I'm just looking forward to meeting those people in my community, the sisters in my community who really want to heal at their core, so that we can do the work that's going to allow you to fully rehab your health in your womb and get it back to a place of optimal health. And so 90 days of healing starts on the 15th. And if you're interested, make sure I'm going to put a link down at the link down in the comment box a little bit later after I get off this live. But if you're interested in being able to join it, click the link so that you can fill out the form and enroll in the 90 days of healing. And then I will contact you for us to meet one-on-one and to actually talk about what your intentions are. Because I think that, you know, for those people who really want to heal, they need one-on-one assistance. And I've always made myself extremely available to the community, but I've never held a challenge where I was like, either you show up or get the hell out. Like, that's really what this challenge is. It's like, either you want to heal or you don't. Show up or get out. Like, show up for yourself, not for me, because ultimately I'm still doing the work. So show up for yourself, put you first, and, you know, make a commitment to you, and then walk in this 90 days with me. And I guarantee you're going to see a difference on the other side, because we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty shit that's really causing the problems. So I'm really excited about that. Anyway, Marsha, you still here? You said you go back to work in September. Oh, okay. Well, that's amazing. So you'll be able to start the 90 days of healing without a whole bunch of a lot of pain and suffering, right? We'd be able to get right into it. But this is a really good time, Marsha, for you to set while your cycle is still here, to set your intentions and your thoughts on like what you want to like really manifest and what you really want to let go of. In those, like in this moment while your cycle is here. I just went through, like, you know, my cycle just left as well. And I just really went through a moment of cleansing, like deep core cleansing and release. And like, I really needed that. Like, I really, really needed that. So yeah. I don't think we give enough time to our cycles, to be honest. Yeah, child, tell me about it. Yeah. And it's funny because when those things be happening to us throughout life and we hold on to it, we really don't view how it affects us long term. We just see like in that moment what it creates for us in our life, and that's what we understand and that's what we know. We don't really pay attention to like long term like forgiveness, and forgiveness is a big thing. Or we can forgive but we don't forget, right? And so people say that they forgive and they let go of, but they still be holding on to it for real deep down inside. They still be holding on to it. So those things that we hold on to is actually what causes the womb ailments that we be suffering with. And it literally is something that just comes, yes it does, and literally just something that just comes and like takes space in us, and that becomes that like fibroid that we can't shrink down and can't get rid of. So um let me see. Let me just open up the book to a random place and see what is on here. Allergies, Alzheimer's, letting go of the past. Yeah, child. Tell me about it. It's really funny. I just opened up the page. This is Louise Hay's Heal Your Body book. It's a book full of like affirmations that go along with different issues. And amenorrhea is one of the ailments that's on this page. Female problems, menstrual problems. It says not wanting to be a woman, dislike of the self. And I'm laughing because like I can imagine that a person who has amenorrhea, like menstrual, like when their menstrual cycle is flowing too much or they can't like control it. Um I can understand how they won't want to be a woman anymore. It's like you better be happy you ain't, you're not a part of this. But anyway, it says I rejoice in who I am. I am a beautiful expression of life, flowing perfectly at all times. That's interesting. Ankles. If you have pain or problems with your ankles, inflexibility and guilt. Ankles represent the ability to receive pleasure. I deserve to rejoice in life. I accept all the pleasure life has to offer. That's really interesting. The ankles. Hmm. Pain in ankles and knees. Okay, so inflexibility and guilt. Ankles represent the ability to receive pleasure. I deserve, and then like so that whole concept of being able to receive pleasure, like before I continue on, that's really interesting because being able to receive pleasure also means like we believe that we're worth it. Like it goes back to self-worth. Like, do we really think that we're worth whatever it is that's coming to us? Or do we like say, oh well, I don't deserve it. Like I know that on the outside we make ourselves beautiful, right? On the outside we say, "Oh yeah, of course, I got high self-esteem." Da, da, da. But then when we get down to it, like, do we really think that we deserve that thing? Like we have to have those conversations with ourselves. Like I have that conversation with myself often. Like I was telling y'all when I first came on, the concept of I'm like don't have no problem birthing something. Like I will birth something in a minute. I have at least 10 or 15 aspects of the business that I have birthed recently and have not told anybody on YouTube or any social media about. And it's just a concept of being able to birth it. I enjoy the process of birth. I take an idea, it becomes a concept. I work it out. I do the work it takes. I churn it within myself. I put all the energy into it, and then I birth it. And after I birth it, it's like, oh my God, look at what I just birthed. Oh. And then I sit it there to the side. I don't do a damn thing with it. And so I had to be like, well, Hadida, why aren't you showing up for self? Like, what is it? Why can you show up for everybody else and be available to everybody else and be accountable for everybody else, but not for yourself? And then I had to realize, well, there's an aspect of me that enjoys the idea of birth, but there's also something in me that values being there for others more than I value being there for myself. Right. And so when I was able to have that real conversation with myself, I was like, oh shit. Well, that might actually look like something being an issue with self-worth. Like you never knew that you had that issue, right? Or like you never thought about that being an issue of self-worth. But when you sit down and you say, I show up for others, but I don't show up for me, that means that you don't value you as much as you value other people. And I had to really sit with that because I never was a person who had low self-esteem in any kind of way, shape, or form. And like in that vulnerable moment, I was like, oh damn. Oh damn, like that's something, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just rambling, but I enjoy coming on to talk to y'all and to be present. I miss those Tuesdays when we used to hop on and have Tuesday Rise and Grind, and the sisters used to come in and ask questions. We used to play music and jam. I was saying earlier, Marsha, like everything in me is just like, girl, content creation is something I don't feel like doing. I have all these aspects of the business I just birthed. I got a whole entire platform that I done created called the Wombniverse for women to be able to go and learn about like womb health and, you know, building business and all this kind of stuff. And then I don't feel like doing no content creation for that. You mean I gotta get up and make a video to tell somebody about it? That is a pain in the behind, okay? And so Ruki was like, so what, you don't want to sell nothing? It's like, it's not that I don't want to sell it, but just the whole like getting dressed and, you know, putting a headpiece on of some kind and like coming on here to look halfway presentable. Sometimes it's something that I don't feel like do after being up all night, you know, working on my business. I don't feel like then getting up and making a video to do it too. Like it's just too much. Anyway. So Marsha, I'll reach out to you, love, because you and I should talk one-on-one before the actual, you know, challenge starts on the 15th. And I'm gonna tell you some vitamins and things like that I think will be able to assist you in your healing journey, because I am aware of like a lot of the stuff that you deal with from what you share with me. So we could talk about that and just really decide, you know, what things you might want to work on. All right, community, I'm hopping off of here. I love you, Marsha. I love you, community. If I don't hop on, it's because your girl is just like, Lord have mercy, I gotta go put on a headpiece. But do know that I love y'all and that I'm here. And in all actuality, I have all these videos that I said I was going to post up soon. That's like, over the years, I have probably 30, 40 videos that are literally sitting, that are not edited. And so I say, you know what? I think that a big thing is that instead of me like doing videos and trying to edit them, I'm just going to do real raw footage and just put it up there. Like if I say 3 times, I don't care. The anal part of Hadida cares, and I want to like break down that video and chop it up and edit it and like take out this piece and do this view and all this kind. I don't feel like doing none of that. So I said, okay, it's not that I don't necessarily feel like making a video to talk about the topic. I don't feel like all the stuff that comes after that, right? I'm just in a place where I just want to create the video and be done. So I said, all right, Hadida, that's what we're going to do. I know it is. And that's the thing. For me, I feel like I got to cut up the stuff that I make and make it into like I do have TikTok, and Yoni Love Rebels has a TikTok. But it's funny because I've gotten sales off of TikTok recently and I haven't put nothing out for them, but I know I would get a lot of views. But this is the thing though, Marsha. I don't want to do the editing. I just want to be able to make the video and that's it. And TikTok and all these other platforms, the editing got to come along with it. And that's not something I feel like doing. So that's the one thing that prevents me from putting the videos out. If I left the video as a raw footage, y'all would have videos for centuries. But because I don't feel like doing the work it takes to be able to edit it, it's the analness in me, you know? It's the analness. The anal part of Hadida says, girl, you about to put that up and you done said 15 times. You about to put that up and like the cat done jumped across the screen or like, you know, I am myself. But the part of me that is like a perfectionist, which is a very large aspect of myself, is the thing that prevents me from putting stuff out there. One of my favorite like business coaches or whatever. That's true. One of my favorite coaches, Gary V, he like makes a lot of content and things like that on he always says like half of y'all don't post the content that y'all create because y'all worried about what somebody else is going to think. I don't care about what the person is going to think. It's me. I am my own worst critic. Okay. So I know that the person who's watching it probably will enjoy it, but it's me who feels like, now you done said such and such 3 times, or you done rambled on about whatever, or you done put this in there and you don't really want to say that on this video. Maybe you want to put that in another video. Like those aspects of myself is the part of me to be like, okay, I'll get to it. And then it never happens. And I'll go birth a different aspect of the company and never make a video about it just because I don't feel like editing it. So I said, okay, over the next 30 days, I'm going to start to do videos, but I'm not going to edit a damn thing in it. So if the cat jump across the screen, if Rookie scream mom in the middle of the video, if I spill something on myself or whatever, I don't know. Just, because life be lifing in the back of all of this stuff that y'all be seeing. People be getting these all like edited versions of videos. Please, it be a whole lot of stuff that be happening in the middle of that. If the camera, like if I got the phone propped up and the camera falls, y'all gonna be getting all of that in the video, just so that y'all can at least get the content. And y'all can get the real raw version of like what's happening and like what's going on without the pause that comes in the content not being produced because I'm too busy worried about editing and don't ever get around to it. Because in the process of like managing an entire business and corporation, and I have 3 companies at this point, I've built up to 3 businesses. So having 3 businesses that's all working at the same time, editing a video is not something that's like top priority for me. And at the same time, I understand that content has to be created in order for us to be able to get more sales and get out to the people who need to find us and learn about all the things that are there that I have to offer. So anyway, with that being said, y'all have been fully warned. Your girl is going to get on here raw. I'm going to look like what I look like at that moment. And that's just it. And we gonna move along with it. And y'all gonna be like, oh my God, did y'all see how Nina's skirt? Oh my God, that shit was twisted. And y'all gonna laugh, and we can come back on here on live and be like, child, she was looking busted that morning. She must have been up all night long. And I'm gonna be like, yup. And I told y'all it was gonna be raw. So here you go. Anyway, I love y'all, community. Peace.